So I made a long video yesterday and then there was no sound. Oh no. So I'm back and let me try again. So I just wanted to say to everyone that came to the channel recently, I'm the tinnitus coach. At least they told me to call myself that. Basically, I started this channel in 2021 after I got COVID, and then I got tinnitus and I had a terrible time. And I started getting better, and I started making some videos to try to document what I was doing to get better. And I gave my sort of personal anecdotes about how to recover from tinnitus and to get into a better place again. So I try to, from time to time, keep coming back and making more videos to help you in your journey, because many of you expressed even recently that you just got tinnitus over the last weeks or months and you're struggling with it. And I'm here to try to help you when I can. I don't get paid for this, but I think I found out if I get up to 1,000 subscribers, then maybe I will actually get some like advertising revenue or something. So I guess I'll take it if I do. So please subscribe. But that's not important. What's important is helping you. And so let's talk about kind of my program for getting better. The first part is always to see the doctor and make sure you're okay. And 99% of people are okay, but it's important for you to know that. So, like if you have what's called pulsative tinnitus, where it's like a boom boom sound versus a ee sound, that can sometimes be an indication there's something with a blood vessel or something like that. So that's where you need to find out. But as far as I know, I'm not aware of any beeping sounds or high pitched noises that are an indication of any health problems. But I want you to go to the doctor and find out for yourself that they have checked you and you're safe. Because part of what's the problem with tinnitus is it really gets to our anxiety, and it can do some pretty crazy things with our mind and our thoughts. And we want to reassure our subconscious brain that we're okay. So in our conscious thoughts, we have the doctor tell us, look, you're not going to die, you're okay. Okay, that's one level up from to knowing that you're safe. And that can alleviate some of the problem already by just listening to the doctor, them telling you, and you knowing, hopefully believing them that you're okay. Okay, then the next thing is we certainly need to get some background noises, because that you can Google things like waterfall noise sounds or ocean sounds, trickling creek, whatever you can think of that might have a similar sound to your tinnitus. You can hopefully have a little fun trying to find different sounds that are like your tinnitus, and you might need to find some way to keep that sound near you most of the time. It doesn't matter how loud it is or something like that, but it's just something that you want to start to be able to not be able to think about the sound as often. And this is something that can help you to do that, because if you can find something that sort of matches the sound, or you end up noticing more than the sound. It doesn't have to be the same sound as your tinnitus if you find something that you like more. I personally had found the sound of a shower running, and I found a video that's like 10 hours of the shower running, and I would keep like my laptop computer near me almost at all times with that sound running, and that helped to sort of mask the sound, so I didn't hear it as much, and it started to create the opportunity that I could not think about it. Not easily, but I got a little bit better. So that was the next thing. But I know I'm dealing with some of you that, just like me, I felt just completely hopeless. I thought this sound would rule me for the rest of my life, and there was no way I would ever not be able to think about it. And yet here I am, and I can hear it now. But I'm not worried about it. It doesn't bother me. I'm not thinking about it. And it's incredible that I was able to do that. So let me keep going. So then the masking of the sound, and then we start getting into some more things that take a little more time to achieve. And this is the frustrating part also, that it seems so hopeless and you're just not getting better. But if you'll start doing some of these things, you can get better. we want to start to do some things where you have to use your brain to do something besides think about the sound. And that, let me just run off a list of things. Reading a book and reading each word. You could say it aloud or not, but think through each word as you read the book and just read each sentence. Keep reading as your thoughts go to the sound of the tinnitus. Keep reading anyway and catch yourself. Okay, no, I'm reading the book, and try to see if you can get the words to sound off in your brain where you're hearing the words, you're thinking about what the book says. That's one. Drawing something. I used to get YouTube videos and I would get some tutorials of how to draw something. Sometimes I would also just find something that I liked and copy it. Like I had some colored pens and pencils and I would draw. I was never an artist. I still don't consider myself much of an artist, but I got better during COVID and during my tinnitus. It took me almost a year to recover, maybe a little more than a year. But I drew things every night before trying to sleep, and it's just something that occupied my brain, my creative brain, trying to draw things. There's something called neuroplasticity, where as we start learning a new activity, our brain starts creating a new neural network. Well, when you got tinnitus, your brain also started creating a new neural network of how to really focus on this tinnitus, because it's something that really, it seems like you shouldn't have. You need to make it go away, and you're finding any way to do it, and you're creating this neural network of trying to fight this thing. And that's not what we want. We want to create a new neural network of how to read a book, how to draw a drawing. Let's learn a language. Let's have some practice sentences or practice words that we're going to go through every day. I still do draw Chinese characters. It's kind of a relaxing thing where I can, even with my eyes closed, I can think through how I draw that character. It could be another language too, where you just imagine and you're thinking, you're occupying your brain with something besides the thought of the tinnitus. And what's going to start to happen is you're going to get better at not thinking about it. Exercise, just challenging yourself in some way. I don't know if you're strong or you're weak. You can do stretching, you can do weightlifting, you can do some cardio, anything that you feel might be good for your body and your health. Go ahead and keep doing that and put some time each day into doing that. Another thing to challenge yourself to do something besides think about the sound. It's a little hard at first, maybe very hard at first to not think about it. I used to play solitaire with actual cards. I bought a deck and I just played it again and again and again, trying to I was beating myself, I guess, at solitaire, trying to just not think about it. It was really hard. I really did feel helpless. And thankfully I ran into some other videos from somebody else that had said that it was like that for them. And then they got better. And I'm like, maybe I can too. So that's the next thing. And then, so that's like the third thing, right? We've done the see the doctor, make sure you're okay. Got the background noises. Now engaging in some activities that occupy your mind. You can think of other things too, but those are ones. And then the next one, I had it in my mind. Did I remember what it was? Is going to be your thought about tinnitus, your attitude toward it. This is a tough one, but you're probably saying things about that like, I hate this sound, it needs to go away, there's got to be a cure, right? So this thought pattern in terms of our psychology and our brain is not helpful here. I mean, I don't know if mine will ever go away, when it's going to go away, but I'm still here and I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. So the way what I did to combat it, which was kind of a novel approach that I hadn't heard before, and one of the things I started doing in my early videos was, I love the sound. It's a beautiful sound. It helps me to know that I'm safe, I'm alive, and nothing's going to happen to me. I like listening to it. It's the sound of maybe peace in the universe, the sound of God, trying to help me understand what I need to do next, So like this kind of thought pattern can help you to think differently about tinnitus, because let's get one thing really clear. You have a conscious brain, what you're thinking, you're hearing me talk now, and you have a subconscious brain that releases all these chemicals into your body that help you to digest food, to eat, to run from a monster, and you get the wrong chemicals start being released into your system by your subconscious brain because of your conscious thoughts. And the result can be that you get into a really terrible state where you can't sleep and you can't not think about the tinnitus and you're always anxious. So we have to start changing what you say to yourself, and it can make a huge difference in how this tinnitus rules you or how you rule it. So you need to make a decision that you like the sound now. I know it's kind of like counterintuitive. You might even want to tell me to, can I say, piss off? That's bullshit, yeah. But you know what? It's bullshit saying all this negative shit all the time. It doesn't help. So you want to try to learn to reverse it. And this is something that I feel like, because I learned about this, it's helped me in other parts of my life too, even after I got better from tinnitus. So did I really get better from tinnitus? No, I still have the sound. But I'm fine now. I'm happy. I don't have a lot of problems with it. And yeah, I can hear it now as I stop and listen to it, but it doesn't bother me anymore. And I feel so fortunate because I felt extremely hopeless before. And I want to try to tell you that it doesn't have to be hopeless. It may take some time. And this is one part that I'm very sorry to share with you. I don't believe that, you just knock it down in a week. We've had some people on this channel that I think they really clued in to what they have to do and were able to get where they're in a pretty good spot within like a month, which is amazing because it took me a lot longer than that. Oh, and I do have one more thing to say. If you're still, with all that I've said, you still feel hopeless and you're not, especially if you're not sleeping, and you're just have anxiety all day long, you may want to consider medication. But let's first talk about some medication you can take that is not prescription. I really like magnesium. Anything I take that I advise you to take, I should say that you should read about it. ChatGPT is great. Ask your doctor. And make sure that you understand, because I am not a doctor, but I really like magnesium a lot. Some people say certain types of magnesium can interfere with their stomach, and there are kinds that don't. But the kind I took is that Calm, CALM, Calm brand magnesium. That's the powder that you can put in your drink, like your water, and I would have it before sleeping, and it really helped me to calm down and go to sleep. And I feel like it's one of the best natural things, at least for me, to just get calm and go to sleep. It can be good for anxiety too, but if you have anxiety and problems with sleep, I think probably the best time to take it would be a little bit before you're going to go to sleep. Vitamin D is proven we have a good, strong evidence that if you don't have enough of it, and many people don't, that you're likely to have anxiety and problems with sleep. So, that make sure you're getting enough of that. You can get a blood test for that to check it. So we have vitamin D, we have magnesium. I was going to get into prescription drugs. I was thinking there was something else. Well, I was just going to say, I don't recommend drinking a lot of alcohol, and also avoid caffeine, a lot of caffeine. Like I went to where I was having no caffeine or alcohol when I was trying to recover. And I think it was a good thing that I did. And I never imagined that I would be able to not drink caffeine, but I was able to do that. And now, actually, I'm not addicted to caffeine like I was before. I don't need coffee. I don't need even tea. But I like to drink tea sometimes. And occasionally I'll have a cup of coffee. But, and as for anxiety, we don't need caffeine. We don't need very little of it. Okay. And then prescription medications. I can tell you what I took. I took a benzodiazepine, which is the same as like Valium. I know there's some different names I can't remember, but I took Ativan, and it's like a shorter lasting one, and it's pretty hard to get a prescription on this stuff these days, as I understand. But it can be pretty good for anxiety, but it's also highly addictive if one starts taking more and more of it. So, but it can be good to get you, if you're in a really tough state. And the doctors generally say, if this is not, you're not getting better quickly, to get on a antidepressant. I don't know the names of all of them, but I took what is known as Zoloft. There's different names for it, but you can Google it or whatever. There's another name for it, Zoloft, and I was actually anxious about taking it because I thought it might hurt my brain or something. No, 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 no. I mean, there are some cases if you're quite young, and it could be a little bit more dangerous. But again, talk to your doctor. But I took a small amount of it, and I got up to maybe, I think, as much as 50 is it milligrams, and it took about 2 or 3 months for it to start working. And I'll say, when it started working, that was really starting to be the beginning of my recovery. We're talking about 5 months in from having tinnitus. It wasn't the end. It took me a lot longer, but it was the beginning of my recovery. And I'm glad that I took an antidepressant. And I did not stay on it. I slowly got off of it, and it's always good to get off of these things slowly, slower than they tell you to. It is slowly cutting back your dose. I also took Seroquel, which is sometimes cross-prescribed for sleep. And if you're not sleeping, a sleeping medication can help you. I'm talking when you're not getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night. If that's the most you're getting, and it's every night like that, that's not good. So you need to find a way to sleep. And if you need to get on a sleep medication for a little while, talk to your doctor. Like I say, I took Seroquel. There's some other ones that are over the counter even you can try. But if you can get your sleep more up to 5, 6, 7 hours of sleep, the chances that your anxiety starts getting better is much, much higher. But if that sleep stays low, it's really tough to get better. So, and it took me quite a while to get my sleep better. We're talking a good 5 months. So it was horrible having the sleep problem. So yeah. So I think I've made a pretty comprehensive video. This summarizes a lot of what I've talked about in the past about tinnitus, but I hope it will kind of give you, at least it's comprehensive for me, for the knowledge that I have. I'm sure there's other stuff out there that you can research and learn about, but I hope that with the information I give you, it helps you to start to get to a better place and start to have some hope and realize that the tinnitus does not need to rule you. You can rule it, and you can decide how you think about it, and you can actually reach a point like I and many, many other people did of just not noticing it very much anymore, and it doesn't bother you anymore. And it's just so surprising that that's possible with where I came from and how hopeless I was. And so many people will say exactly what I just said. So I want you to know that, because it gives you hope now. So, okay. Well, thank you very much. And hopefully I'll see you on future videos. Okay. Bye-bye.